Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our coverage of the Conference Championship games. In the AFC, it's the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Raiders. And in the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers will play host to the New York Giants. And that will be our live game in just a few minutes, after which we'll have extended highlights of the AFC game. Unfortunately, though, for you, the viewers, there's no way that you could watch our live game and not hear the result of the Bills-Raiders game, as it's already been played, and our American match commentators will constantly be referring to the AFC Super Bowl team. So for all you Raider and Buffalo fans, here's the winner. It will be the Buffalo Bills, who will play in Tampa next week as they thrashed the Raiders 51-3. Joining me today to help analyse the games are two very special guests. Charles Mann, the All-Pro defensive end with the Washington Redskins, and then a man that all you regular viewers are by now familiar with, Jerry Glanville, the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for having us here.
First of all, Jerry, let's talk a little bit about the Buffalo game. I know you coached up there in '83. Are you surprised at how good they've been this year?
Really, I think they've done a tremendous job of drafting ever since 1982. They've been picking real good players, real good secondary, quarterback, running backs. I think they have all the tools, and I think they're they'll represent the AFC probably better than anybody has in a long time.
Charles, Jerry mentioned the AFC. In recent years, the NFC has absolutely dominated Super Bowls, mainly thanks to the 49ers. You played against the Bills in the last game of the season, and you beat them. Do you think that the Bills can go and represent the AFC well?
I think they'll do a great job. I think they have a lot of key people in key positions like quarterback spot, wide receiver spot, defensive line, and linebackers that are doing exceptionally well, and I think they'll do very well against the NFC.
And now let's move on to the 49ers-Giants game. Both of you have played the 49ers twice this year. In 3 of those 4 games, I think they could have gone either way. But as we all know, the 49ers won all those games. So first I'll come to you, Jerry. How good do you think the 49ers are?
Really, I think if you take away the quarterback, they're probably like the rest of us, and I think the proof of that is they don't play Montana against the Saints at the end of the year, and the Saints go on and beat them and really totally stop their offensive attack. But they do have the quarterback. He's the difference right now. He doesn't make many errors. He's got all the leadership qualities. He puts them in a different group with everybody else.
Charles, Jerry, Montana, he talks about, you've had to go against him. You've had to try and get to him. How good is he in your eyes?
He is unreal. You know, we put all the pressure on him that we could. We put pressure on him up the middle. We blitzed him. We showed him so many different looks, and yet at times he seemed to smile back there as if this is all, it is a game, but if it was just something that he had under control and there was nothing we could do to stop him.
That's right. I mean, so many players around the NFL say you get so close to him and you're about to sack him, he throws the ball like he can't see anyone, and he still completes it. Well, before we move on, many of you will remember that these two teams, they did meet in Week 13, and here's a reminder of what happened then.
Candlestick Park, home of the San Francisco Giants and the 49ers. Matt Barr, the longtime Brown, who spent part of 1982 with the 49ers, boots it through. So finally, some points up on the board. A 20-yard field goal for Matt Barr. 2nd and 5 at the 23. And Montana fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Taylor.
You can stop them for a long time, but sooner or later you keep going to them, they're going to get you.
4th and goal from the gun. Sims fires, batted away. Darryl Pollard. What a night for the 49ers secondary. Last play of the game, barring a defensive penalty.
This will draw a crowd.
And it ends on a sack by Fagan.
And the 49er defense, nothing short of excellent.
Well, this is what happened at the end of the game. Ronnie Lott and Phil Simms, the quarterback for the Giants, having a discussion, and I can promise you they weren't inviting each other to their Christmas parties. And so there is a little bit of ill feeling between the two teams. The good thing about this, though, the Giants held Jerry Rice to 1 reception, and Joe Montana completed less than 50% of his passes. That's very unusual. Jerry, do you think the Giants' defense can have that much success today?
I don't think so. I think what happened is the game was very close. So, as we talked about it before, both offensive teams became very conservative. I don't look for that. I think they'll open it up, and if you go wide open with the 49ers, then you can't hold them to that few passes. But I think they were waiting for the other team to make a mistake and capitalize on that mistake. I don't think they'll play it that way today.
Charles, you've played not only the 49ers twice this year, but also the Giants. But in both those Giants games, it was Phil Simms that was quarterback. He's now injured. Jeff Hostetler stepped in, had a good game last week. How much of a difference is it to the Giants game without Simms?
Well, I think there's a big difference. I mean, a veteran quarterback in Phil Simms now being replaced by a veteran quarterback but hasn't had the game experience, at least not at quarterback. He's played a lot of different positions, but not that much at quarterback. I think he adds another dimension to the Giants' offense, and they're going to need that extra dimension, and that is that he's very mobile. He can move in and out of the pocket. I believe he'll score or he'll run for a couple of key first downs for the Giants.
All right, well, now it's time for a break. When we come back, Gary will have a live report from Candlestick Park. Welcome back. Today is a huge day for the NFL, but the championship games are relatively meaningless when compared to world affairs. Therefore, we will, of course, keep you informed if we receive any news from the Middle East. Jerry, you've played the 49ers twice this year. How would you go about attacking them offensively if you were the coach, if you were Bill Parcells?
I think probably the thing that separates them from everybody else in the NFC is the defensive front quickness. They're very, very quick. And I think if you get in a conventional formation, if you go with a tight end and two backs, that you're in for a long day. They're too quick. They come off of blocks. I think the only way you can attack them, one game we were lucky enough we scored 35 points on them. But we were 4 wideouts the entire game, in a shotgun the entire game to escape from the front. I think you get in a shotgun and you open up the formation so they have fewer people coming after you.
All right, Charles, on the other side of the ball, defensively, if you were the coach, what would you throw at them to try and slow them down? It seems like they move the ball at will.
I think we did a fairly decent job when we played them last week in that we had a lot of pressure coming up the middle. We had stunts and whatnot going up the middle, getting in his face. He drops back 3 steps and then fires the football. Most of it is timing routes. So if you can have people pressing the receivers and not letting them get to their spots, they like the quick slants and whatnot. So if you have people coming up the middle and you're pressing the receivers a little bit more than normal, then you have a great chance at stopping Joe Montana. He had to go to secondary and secondary receivers, and once he has to go to secondary receivers, if they're not at a certain point, he's going to scramble out of the pocket. Then that's when you can get sacks and whatnot on him.
All right, Joe, there's a lot of conversation about stopping Joe Montana and how do you stop him. But now, something the Giants bring to the table that's a little new is Jeff Hostetler. What do you think Coach Parcells is going to ask of Hostetler today?
Well, I think really the last time they played him with Simms, they asked Simms not to lose the game. And I think what they'll do today is say, hey, let's go try to win it. I think both teams played, don't lose it. Don't make a mistake. Don't throw an interception. I think today they'll both crank it up. I don't think a backup quarterback, usually in a playoff situation, has 2 good games in a row. So I don't think he'll be the player that he was just 1 week ago.
Well, it'll definitely be interesting to see how he plays, and Otis Anderson had better have a good game. Now let's go to Gary Imlach. He's on the sidelines at Candlestick Park.
Well, Mick, I suppose the first thing I should do is confirm that this game is actually going ahead. That was technically in doubt up until this morning, contingent, of course, on events in the Gulf. And as you say, they may still take precedence once the game has begun. Security here is understandably tight. There's been a 24-hour guard all week on Candlestick Park in case of any sort of terrorist attack. No one without a ticket has been allowed anywhere near the stadium today. And in case of any confrontation between those for the war and those against it, no banners are being allowed into Candlestick Park today. Now, before I move on to matters purely sporting, let me just say that it's not only the NFL that's been worried about playing a big sporting event during wartime. The players have too. At least 2 of them here today, Johnny Cooks of the Giants and the 49ers' Jesse Sapolu, have relatives fighting in the Gulf, and the 49ers team psychologist Harry Edwards has been counselling players this week on how a game that seemed all important last week is still important to play this week. So who is playing? Well, Joe Montana definitely is, despite a bout of flu that kept him out of practice on Friday and Saturday. And the 49ers also have a boost on defence with the return of linebacker Michael Walter from injured reserve. Rodney Hampton's out with a broken leg for the Giants, of course, and there was a question mark about place kicker Matt Barr, but he now seems to be fit. Still, with Hampton and Phil Simms out, of course, it's the Giants lineup that suffered the most since the game here in week 13. And I'm going to go out on a brave and reckless limb now and predict that both teams will score more points in this game than they did in the last one.
Well, that's a heck of a prediction there, Gary. You've really gone on the limb, and it's not a very thick limb, is it? My goodness. 7-3, Gary thinks there's going to be more than 10 points scored in this game. Do you agree with him?
Well, I really think the key for the Giants is Meggett. I think he has to return a kick, or they have to throw a short pass where he gets a screen and takes off and runs through the whole club. They're so quick up front. The 49ers are so good. Meggett's got to get the ball in space, get the field in get the ball in the open field, make some moves, make some cuts. If the Giants win, Meggett will win it.
Well, Meggett is a great player. He's been a Pro Bowler. He's got that speed and he can get open. All right, another man that's in this game that wasn't in their game 7 weeks ago is Jumbo Elliott, offensive lineman. He can move. Is he going to help Meggett?
I think he'll help the whole team. I think what you're going to see here today is you're going to see the Giants come out in a 2 tight end formation. And also, sometimes they'll be in a 3 tight end formation, and they're just going to pound the football. Otis Anderson will be running the football. I think he'll get the ball maybe 30 times, and that's going to be the difference. They're going to control the ball on offense, keep San Francisco 49ers offense off the field, and that's how you beat them.
So you're saying that if they have the running game and they get the running game going, they can win it?
I think they are going to get the running game going, and it's something that they didn't do in the first game. I think they're going to have 3 or 4 tight ends in there. I don't believe they're going to spread out and have 4 wide receivers out there. And I think it's going to be a hard-nosed kind of football, the kind that the NFC East, we being in that NFC East, the Washington Redskins, like to play. And I think that's how the Giants have won that division in the last few years.
I mean, you're saying that the running game, if they get the running game going, they maybe got a chance. But, Jerry, a few minutes ago you said when you scored 30-some points on them, it was because you had the wideouts. What would you say as a coach?
They're too fast or too quick. You can't run on them. I don't want to. He's bigger than me. I don't want to argue with them. They will not run on them.
So what will they do?
They have to throw the ball, have to spray the ball, get the ball to the little short guy. Let him go make a play.
But, see, the Giants, they're not that kind of a ball club. They like to control the offense.
True.
I mean, they would be going totally out of their offensive scheme and their philosophy. And I've seen them, quite a few times do that to us. They get the football, they pound it. And, you said it also that the 49ers have a bunch of quick defensive linemen. Charles Haley is only 235 pounds, heavy. He's not very heavy. You got a Jumbo Elliott, like you talked about. They don't call him Jumbo for nothing. He's a big guy. And they're going to pound the football, and I think that's how they'll win it.
Again, going back to 7 weeks ago, the Giants were capable of doing something that very few people have done, and that was stop the 49ers scoring points. Now, they threw something a little different at them, didn't they, defensively? The Giants, and Parcells did that again last week against Chicago, a different defense. Can he show them something different this week and throw them off guard?
I don't really think the Giants, what their strategy or their new plan stopped Montana. I think what stopped Montana, you mentioned earlier, was the play selection, was the conservative approach. If they said, by the way, Montana, we need 30 points, you'd see a whole different thing go on. They'd go after the 30 points.
All right, quickly, before we go to Candlestick Park, I need predictions. First, you, Jerry, who's going to win? Who's going to go to the Super Bowl and represent the NFC?
I think the 49ers. I wish the Giants would go, but I believe the 49ers will be there.
You think the 49ers are going to be there?
Yes.
Charles?
I think the Giants, 24-17, Giants.
24-17 Giants. Well, I want the score from you now, Jerry.
They couldn't score 24 if they played 3 times. Too many points.
Well, I'm going to go with my heart. I'm also going to go to the Giants. I think that it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think that the 49ers will score 30 points. Therefore, I think the Giants will win. But, Jerry, I want to quickly come back to you because I know back at Candlestick there's a lot of conversation still going on that we don't want to go to. So, Jerry, Joe Montana, what sort of day has he got to have against the Giants' defense to make this work and make it be a victory for them?
All he has to do is have the game there with a minute left. Joe Montana is the quarterback with 1 minute in the last drive. One of these games, in that last drive, that last minute, he is going to throw an interception, and all of us are going to pass out because he never does it. He goes down the field, throws a touchdown pass, they go home the winner. That's all he needs. He needs 1 minute with the game still there, and they win.
So if they keep it close, 49ers are going to win it?
Without question.
For you, defensively, who is the man who's got to play? Because one player we've not mentioned yet, which is amazing to me, is my hero, is Lawrence Taylor. Which man do you think on their defense has really got to perform today?
Well, I think you touched on their defensive scheme and how they came out with a new look. They came out with a 4-3, which they normally run a 34, and that's 4 defensive linemen and 3 linebackers instead of 3 different defensive linemen and 4 linebackers. And I think they're going to show different looks like that to isolate and to free up LT as well as Pepper Johnson and some of the other linebackers, like Carl Banks has to play an extremely big game for them. And I think they will rise to the occasion.
You bring up, you've got the linebackers and ends coming out. Now, as a coach, do you believe that you can get to Montana in time, or have you got to go up the middle? It seems to me you have to attack up the middle to get to Montana.
When the back foot, and he knows as well as I do, when the back foot hits the ground, the ball's gone. You got to get there instantly. His back foot hits the ground, ball's gone.
He takes
All
3 steps.
Well, now let's go back to Candlestick Park for the kickoff at last. Our match commentators are John Madden and Pat Sommerall. Enjoy it.
Matt Barr will kick off for the Giants. Dexter Carter and Spencer Tillman back deep for the 49ers, looking into the sunshine as you look at one of the most dangerous men in this game of pro football, Jerry Rice, getting ready.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they try and get the ball to Rice right off the bat on the first play deep.
They said they were going to open it up and open it early. It's going to be Spencer Tillman. Barr's kickoff sail to the 15. He's cut down by David Whitmore. Joe Montana out 2 days, missed 2 days of practice. Will open at quarterback. That's in front of him, that offensive line. Paris, McIntyre, Sapolo, Barton, and Wallace, with Brent Jones, the tight end, Roger Craig and Rathman, the 2 runners. Rice and Taylor open as the wide receivers, but Brent Jones splits wide to the left, and Rice and Taylor are together on the right. Craig in motion, and Montana will air it out early. That looked like he missed 2 days of practice with the flu. Weak. The defense that Montana looks at will be Dorsey, Howard, and Marshall up front. Banks, Reasons, Pepper Johnson, and Lawrence Taylor, a fine group of linebackers. In the secondary, Collins, Walls, Guyton, and Jackson. 2nd and 10, 49ers from their own 26. Sherrard enters the game as a wide receiver to the left. Montana gets the ball out to Rathman. Pepper Johnson and Mark Collins converge, a gain of 7. But he paid the price.
But, you know, last time they played, the 49ers thought that they were too conservative, and Mike Holmgren said what he did is if Montana was throwing in rhythm and there wasn't anyone there right now, he had him just throw the ball away. Today he said they're going to open it up, spread it out, and he just told Joe, even though he hasn't practiced in the last 2 days, just do what you do best.
3rd and 3, and Harry Sidney is the lone setback, and now there are no setbacks as he goes in motion. Outside, John Taylor. Beg your pardon, Mike Sherrard. First down, 49ers, stopped by Wall.
You know, I think if there's one big difference for the 49ers from that game they played the first time, it's having this guy back, Mike Sherrard. Because what you want to do is you want to stop Jerry Rice, you want to double him, you want to double John Taylor, and now they have another guy in there that if you do those things, then Mike Sherrard can still get you.
You see what an addition he is when he's healthy and available. Montana back to throw it. They've yet to run a play. Up the middle as Montana does what he does so well. To Brent Jones.
That is amazing. What the Giants are trying to do is throw his rhythm off. Now watch it. He's going to come out here and he's going to look to one side. He's coming back 1, 2, 3. Look at the right. Look, he pumps. There's nothing there. He has nothing there. So he pumps again. Now he comes back. He had 3 receivers on the right side, and he came back to his 4th receiver that time, who is Brent Jones.
He might be, John, the only quarterback who can do that.
I don't think anybody, there's no one playing now that can do it.
Roger Craig is the lone setback in the first running play for the 49ers. Craig inside the Giant 45, a pickup of 5, tripped up by Mark Collins.
You know, one thing, the 49ers have kind of abandoned the run, but they did say one thing. If they're going to run, they're going to try and get outside like this. Instead of running inside, they don't think they can run inside. But if they can run at all, they're going to try to run at the corners.
That was textbook right there, as Craig saw when he was going to get hit and covered up the ball. Montana to throw it quickly. That's to John Taylor. 14-yard pickup if the pass is complete. Perry Williams with the hit on Taylor.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing about these 49ers. They have so many guys that can catch the ball. Watch, that's just a slant. There's no one that throws that better, even though that was a little behind him, than Joe Montana. And there's not a heck of a lot of guys that catch it better than Mike Sherrard.
That ball might have been loose, John, on the way down.
I think John Taylor fumbled that one.
Whoa! The 49ers wisely trying to run a play.
Yeah, they were trying to get up there. They're going to review that one because to have possession, John Taylor has to catch the ball and come down with both feet on the ground and control of the ball.
And this ball is loose on the way down.
Yeah, you'll see that second foot hasn't gotten down and that ball came out.
They won't have to review that one too long. They haven't moved the yard line markers yet from the previous play. Jack Rader is the replay official up in the booth.
They all look nervous, though, don't they?
I beg your pardon. It's Tom Kelleher. Jack Rader.
There it is. You see, he's
looking
up,
on.
and now down, and the ball is already out.
And I think the 49ers were very much aware of that. And they tried to get off another play, and after that, if they're successful, it can't be reviewed.
You know, the only other thing is the official could have blown the football before that ball came out.
That's a possibility. Does he look guilty?
No, I think John Taylor looks very confident and believes that not only did he catch that pass, but that he's going to catch a lot more of them today.
Referee Jerry Markbright has just gotten the review.
After further review, the play stands. The runner was down by contact on the field.
The play stands according to Markbright. And now another conference with the umpire.
Well, you know, the thing that Joe Montana has done, he's thrown the 4 different receivers on this drive.
No replay was allowed on this play because the whistle sounded when the runner was down by contact.
Aha, you were right.
That's what I thought. That was the other thing. See, that's the out that they have there where it doesn't even go to replay. If the official said he saw it, see, when his first foot or knee came down, he blew the whistle. So that puts all replay off.
And it's 1st and 10 and Craig. Hit by Taylor and Reasons. He got 1 yard.
I'll tell you, the other guy that was up there was the weak safety, Myron Guyton. You know, one thing about these Giants and this Giant defense, they all tackle well. I mean, and that's where Myron Guyton at the weak safety and Greg Jackson at the strong safety, 47 and 29, have really given them that this year.
A lot of tough guys on that defensive unit. They tackle well and they all get there. They pursue well. Montana has to unload quickly and does. To Jerry Rice in their first meeting, the one won by the 49ers. That's a loss of a yard. Rice only caught 1 pass.
And it was against Mark Collins, and Mark Collins is a very confident guy. He believes the way you play Jerry Rice is you play against him physical. You make everything physical. Watch this hit here. If you're going to catch it, okay, but you're not going to make any yards. I tell you, Mark Collins is a very good corner, a very good cover guy, but he's a very strong player, a very physical corner.
He plays with a great deal of confidence. Wilson and Rice. Split to the right. Montana just has to throw it away. As the Giants had the blitz coming, Reasons and Taylor right in his face.
Those are the two things the Giants figure. You have to bump the receivers. Then the other thing is you have to get pressure, but pressure right up the middle. You see it right here, right up the middle, that makes him stop. Not be able to step up, not be able to run and buy some time, but makes him stop and step backwards and throw.
Brings up a 4th down situation. The 49ers send in Kofer and Helton to hold from 47 yards out. That's just about his limit. Well, it doesn't look like it from that. That was plenty long enough, plenty high enough, and the 49ers get 3 on their first drive. They lead.
Nothing, and Mike Kofer will be kicking off.
Drive pretty typical of what we expected. 7 passes, 2 runs, and the field goal.
And I think that's exactly what we're going to see all day, that combination. The Giants had a little of what they had to do right there at the end. They have to bump the receivers and get pressure up the middle on Joe Montana. If you don't, he could become a surgeon on you.
Meggett and Duerson back to field Kofer's kickoff. Now they go into a tandem. They want Meggett to handle it if they can. But they don't want to tell Kofer where he's going to be.
And I think they're just going to stand like that and let Meggett run to the ball. And then, of course, Duerson becomes the blocker.
Duerson feels it and stays in the end zone. Jeff Hostetler, his 2nd playoff game, will open at quarterback for the Giants. Up front, Jumbo Elliott, Roberts, Oates, Moore, Riesenberg, and Bavaro, a man the 49ers fear. The runners, Otis Anderson and Maurice Carthon. The wide receivers, Ingram and Baker. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Jeff Hostetler-led Giants. Phil Simms, of course, out with that ankle, foot injury. And Hostetler coming off an outstanding game last week against the Bears. Ingram goes in motion. Hostetler to work on 1st down. Flag on the play. The pass for Carthon incomplete. Holding. And not a very auspicious start for the Giants on their first possession.
Holding, number 60, offense.
Holding call
First
against
down.
Eric Moore. And here is the 49er defense. Not given a lot of credit, but excellent. Those 3 very steady and very strong. Holt, Carter, and Fagan. The linebackers Haley and Millen, DeLong and Romanowski. And in the secondary, Pollard and Griffin. Dave Meggett, the lone setback, and he gets the carry. And Meggett struggles out for a gain of about 6 or 7. Here's Holt, made the stop. The 2 49er safety men, Waymer and Lott, open back there.
Well, you know, when Rodney Hampton broke his leg last week, that brought David Meggett into another dimension in this offense. Instead of just being a kick returner and 3rd down runner, he is also going to be used as a 1st and 2nd down runner.
Meggett came up and said something to Hostetler. 3 tight ends on the right side for the Giants. Hostetler gives to Meggett. Tries to get to his left, stopped by Fagan for no gain. Romanowski with the assist.
You know, that's the idea. You see what happens is up here, you have the 3 tight ends on this side. But what the Giants are going to do is they're going to run to this side of Jumbo Elliott and try and attack Fagan here. Now, that's going to be a big job. Wherever they put their formation, they still want to run to Jumbo Elliott's side. But one of the best run defenders is that guy right there, number 75.
3rd and 13. Oates can't hear, so Hostetler gets up under center. after beginning this play in the shotgun formation. Hostetler, and he can run. Pass is complete to Mark Ingram, and a pickup of 20 yards and a Giant first down. That's the added dimension of a Hostetler.
That's the thing that Jeff Hostetler has to give him, because if you see right now, the receivers aren't open. In fact, they aren't even running much of a pattern, but now they see Hostetler moving, and then all Ingram does is just trying to come under control, show him his numbers, and Jeff Hostetler hits him. That was not a receiver reception. That was a quarterback buying time reception. 1st and 10, Anderson in the backfield now as the lone setback. And O.J. The fake by Hostetler to Anderson, caught by Bavaro. A gain of 7. Yeah, the Giants talked about doing the same thing that they did last week, and that is throwing on 1st down. Now, this is a bootleg. You see, Anderson is going to start to his left. See Hostetler fake there? Now, the runners go to the left. Now, Hostetler fakes it and brings the ball out to the right. So it looks like it's a run, but no, it's a pass. He gets out here, breaks containment, and finds his tight end.
2nd down and 3. Giants up to their own 44. This is Meggett. And Meggett. Strong run by David. Picked up 5 yards, stopped by Darrell Pollard.
Hey, one thing, David Meggett is going to earn his check today, Pat, because as we said, he's not only the kick returner, the special teams guy. We know that he's their #1 3rd down receiver, and now they're using him a lot on 1st and 2nd down running, trying to get the ball outside so the 49ers just can't pack everything inside.
Meggett split wide to the left this time. Here's Hostetler back to throw it. Looks right, throws left. Intended for Ingram. He is hammered by Ronnie Lott. Just a reminder that I'm still here.
He's the guy that lifts this whole team. That Ronnie Lott is the guy that brings it up with hits like this in games like this. You're not going to run a post in there and not get this at the end of it when number 42 is sitting there. Now, if you do something to get him out of there, you have a chance. But I'll guarantee you, when you throw it in there and you don't run him out of there, he is going to do that, and he's going to lift the whole 49er defense.
2nd and 10. Fagan jumped on the right side. If he was pulled, we'll wait and see for Jerry Mark Bright.
Encroachment foul. Number 75.
No, he just encroached.
5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
I think he was going to come on a stunt. You know, he was lined up on Jumbo Elliott, but he was going to stunt to the inside. Kevin Fagan was, and he just got a little jump on it. You'll see him. He's up here on the right there, and then what happens? He's going to take the inside. So he knows that he has to hit that inside gap. You see him? So he's trying to hit that gap between the guard and the tackle.
Hoping to occupy 2 men and free a linebacker who was coming behind him.
That's what he was trying to do, and he just jumped too soon.
Here's Hostetler back to throw it. Gets it upfield quickly to Stephen Baker. Stopped by Waymer, but that should be enough for a Giant first down, a gain of 9.
You see Stephen Baker jump up like that. When you only weigh 155 pounds and you're playing in the National League, National Football League, and you get knocked out, you have to jump up quickly and like, hey, you can't hurt me. You know, that type of thing. Stephen Baker's been doing that all his life.
1st and 10. Baker wide left this time, along with another. This is Maurice Carthon, who carried the ball more last week against the Bears than he has all year. The Giant bench and defensive instructions.
Well, Bill Belichick is the defensive coordinator of the Giants, and one thing you learn as a defensive coach, you learn to draw upside down. And then all your guys watching, you draw all the plays and the formations that they do. This guy is a very good coach, and they're talking about him as a possible head coach in the National Football League this year. He's only 38 years old.
Very intense. You draw upside down like that if you sell insurance or if you're a defensive coach. Hostetler's pass is behind Bavaro and knocked down by Romanowski. Keith DeLong on the blitz put the pressure on Hostetler.
Yeah, you'll see the pressure. Keith DeLong comes from the backside. You see, it's going to be from Hostetler's back. There comes Carter up the front, DeLong on the back. And he had to throw the ball at that time. But I'm impressed with Hostetler. I was impressed with last week how cool he was. And you say, well, that's at home. But this week, he looks like he's bringing that same coolness here.
3rd and 8. Well, they're very aware of his running ability. And they should be. Incomplete. Flag on the play. Ingram jumping up and down after the ball went by, and finally the yellow flag came flying.
That may be one that Ingram talked him into.
Pass interference, number 26, defense, automatic first down.
Oh, if you're going to work on someone in the 49ers, the guy they work on is Darryl Pollard, number 26. I don't know from that if he was there a little early or not. But let's watch 26 right there. Now that, to me, doesn't look like pass interference. You have to give a guy a chance to defend. And if that's all he did, there's nothing wrong with that.
However, it's a first down, Giants at the 49er 30. That's Anderson straight ahead. A gain of 8. Stopped by Ronnie Lott. Good hold over the right side.
You know, one thing that the Giants all talked about yesterday, Pat, and the day before is that last time they played, they had success between the 20s. And they're coming up to the 20-yard line now, and that's where they didn't have any success. They had opportunities last time to get the ball in, and they just couldn't get it in. So they've been spending all their time on this red zone area.
And that's what they all emphasized yesterday when we talked with them. Once we get in the red zone, we've got to put some points on the board. And here's Anderson inside the 11. Stopped finally by Millen. The 11th play of this drive on an 11-yard gain.
Okay, watch the left side of the line. Here's where they get the blocks. They want to get a big block off of Jumbo Elliott. Now watch Jumbo Elliott start off. See, he takes off, Roberts takes off. They just fire out. They get that soft spot right there, and that gives Anderson the room. That was a big hole, because that was the other thing they decided when they get inside the 20, they wanted to do 3 things. 1, run straight at him. 2, bootleg with a quarterback. Or 3, draw with the quarterback.
Maggott is the lone setback. Maurice Carthon in motion. Option pass coming from Maggott to Carthon. Touchdown, and he dropped it. Incomplete. Matt Millen was the attempted defender. He had it and dropped it. It was there.
Oh, what a matchup. That's the thing that you plan for, is to get Matt Millen having to cover a guy in the end zone. Matt Millen is a run guy. That looked like a perfect pass. This is a run pass. You flip it out to Maggott. He's going to come out there. Watch Carthon. He is completely free, and old Millen just turns his back, and I don't think he got a hand in there or anything. It looked like Carthon just dropped that ball.
Slid right through.
Woo.
Second down. Giants at the 11. Hostetler over Bavaro's head. Incomplete.
I think this is a thing that the Giants need a play here, because that's all they talked about, is that haunted them last time, that red zone, the 49ers defense being so good in there. Here's their drive so far. They've been able to do that before, but can they do this?
The 20 and in. That red zone they keep talking about. 3rd and 10. They can make a first without scoring. Out of bounds, incomplete. Ingram, the intended receiver. Pollard was the 49er cover man.
That was the other thing. They felt that they couldn't run slants, that they had to run fades. You see up on top, 82, Ingram, he's running what they call a fade. Now that ball should be thrown towards that cone more. Now, what Ingram's arguing is that he was pushed out of bounds, that he caught the ball, and if he weren't pushed, he would have been inbounds.
Matt Barr from 28 yards away with Hostetler holding. Some doubt during the week whether Barr would be able to make it. His field goal is good, and this game is tied at 3 with 2:41 left to play in the first quarter at Candlestick. First, and then the Giants on 28-yard field goal by Barr tie the score at 3-3. 2:41 left to play in the first quarter. Pat Summerall with John Madden. The winner goes to Tampa. The Super Bowl against Buffalo. 3-3 at Candlestick. Barr to kick it off. Dexter Carter at the 5. Good return outside the 30, finally stopped by Bobby Abrams. A return of 27 yards by Carter. Game tied at 3 between the Giants and the 49ers. 49ers have the ball at their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10. Montana again to throw, or try to. Going to be a holding call against the 49ers. The pass is finally incomplete.
That's the whole thing that the Giants are doing now, and there is an example when you talk about rhythm and throwing them out of rhythm. That is a defense throwing Montana out of rhythm.
Holding number 61, offense. 10 yards, first down.
Sapolo holding.
Just watch what happens here and why he's knocked out of rhythm. You see now, right now, if we stop it, now he's ready to throw, but he doesn't have his guy. See, here's where he's trying to throw, and the Giants have good coverage there. So he can't throw there. So now if we just let it go, you see that took him out of that rhythm. Then he went to the second and then the third.
Rathman alone set back in Montana again. Gets the ball out to Rathman, and he's taken down quickly by Reason.
Yeah, if you look at the end of the last play, watch that. That ball was almost intercepted by Everson Walls. It went right through him. But how about that tackle by Jerry Rice?
Jerry Rice, yeah.
We know that he can run and catch and do all that, but that was a pretty good tackle.
Loss of 4 on that pass completion. 2nd and 24. Montana in a hurry. Pass is complete to Sherrard, but again a very short gain. Greg Jackson and the rest of the Giants secondary right there. Jeff Hostetler stays loose on the sideline. I don't know who took those pictures, but he didn't.
He did, and you wonder how, with all that armor on his hands and all that stuff in his hands, he can flip them. That takes dexterity to be able to have those big hands and those big hands. It's a good thing he doesn't have to take the pictures with those hands.
3rd and 21. Montana under pressure again, comes out of there, slides down, and the 49ers will have to punt. Pepper Johnson made sure he stayed down.
The Giants, I was just saying the Giants have done an excellent job. They've done an excellent job of throwing Montana out of rhythm on this series. That they didn't let him throw the ball. They didn't have anyone open. You see Steve Wallace here blocking against Lawrence Taylor. He does a good job, but the other guys didn't give Montana any lanes to throw in.
Maggott back deep. Barry Helton, who was punting extremely well in the pregame warm-up, back to punt for the 49ers. That'll stay up there a long time. Maggott will handle it, however. It does. Giants will take over at their own 44. Mike Wilson made the stop. That's the end of the first quarter with the score, the 49ers 3, the Giants 3. First and 10 Giants at their own 44. Ingram, the man in motion. Penalty marker down. I think they took too much time. Handoff was to Anderson.
Well, I'll tell you, did Jumbo Elliott tie into someone over there on that left side?
False start, number 78, offense.
False
5
start.
yards, first down.
78 is Pierce Holt. I'll
Number
tell you, up on
76,
that.
76.
But I'll tell you, watch this. Watch when Elliott ties in here. Even though this play doesn't go anywhere and it doesn't count or anything, that's the way you drive block. Watch him fire out. See how low he is? And watch him fire out into him and get Fagan going backward. I mean, that is 2 men right there just blocking head to head.
First and 15. Remember, the Giants started their last drive with a penalty. Here's Hostetler. Deep for Ingram. And just slightly overthrown. Earlier today in Buffalo, no contest. 51-3. The Bills will go to Tampa, and one of these two will be the opponent.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that was a shocker. The Bills looked almost perfect, and our congratulations to them. And going to the Super Bowl,
Boy.
then of course the team that wins here gets to go down there and play. If the Giants win, they're leaving tonight right after the game to go to Tampa.
Giants win, of course, it's all New York. Super Bowl. 49ers win, it's East Coast, West Coast. Penalty flags fly everywhere.
False start.
False start
number
again.
60.
You know, that's one of the things they were talking to us about yesterday, that Hostetler's count, his cadence is difficult to get used
Well, you
to.
see what happened here? I think Ronnie Lott is up here faking a blitz, and I think that will take an offensive lineman more and make him a little nervous. You see him move there, and he moved when Lott got up to fake, and then Lott moved out. Eric Moore moved.
Second and 20. Hostetler gives to Meggett. Not much. Picked up perhaps 4, stopped by Kevin Fagan and Waymer.
Well, the 49ers are keyed in on that play. They figure that when Meggett's in there, they're either going to throw to him or he's running a draw. So when they're in there, they are keying draw. The Giants have 2 or 3 different kinds of draws. That one is what they call a lag draw.
49ers now go with their pass rushing unit, which means Larry Roberts will now be one of the rushers, and Haley comes to the left. Wide on the outside. Stacy Robinson in the game for the Giants. Hostetler gets to Meggett. Meggett hammers close to a first down. Not quite enough, I don't think.
That is going to be interesting. If it is a first down, it's going to be a great effort by Dave Meggett. If it's not a first down, what does Coach Bill Parcells do? See, he's hitting his helmet there. This is what they call scat. So he hits his helmet which way he's going to look to go. He didn't make the first down on it, though. You see, he's going to go through to that side, then just find him anywhere he wants to go. Good tackle right there, stop them, and they have to punt. No going for it on 4th down today.
Landetta. Back deep to punt it, John Taylor. Back for the 49ers. Taylor, very dangerous. Cut down by Lewis Tillman. 37-yard punt by Landetta. Taylor brought it back 9 yards. 13-11 left in the first half. Score is 3-3.
Yeah, that was interesting with that 4th and 1 that Bill Parcells didn't even think about going for it today. And last week, it was such a big part of the game plan in beating the Bears.
So the 49ers will take over at their own 19.
We'll have the ball, and it's Joe Montana at quarterback.
And just a reminder that as the news develops, we'll be switching back to CBS News from time to time if there are developments. On first down, it's Rathman over the left side. A pickup of 5 yards. Eric Howard tripped him up.
You know, the one thing, remember last time, Pat, what the Giants did on defense is they used 5 defensive backs. They're nickel the whole time. This time, they're playing Carl Banks here. This is where they played Jackson last time. So now they're playing their regular 3 linemen, and then they're playing Gary Reasons because he's a better pass defender. But they're not playing nickel on regular down. They're playing a lot like they did, but with Carl Banks.
That was second down. Pepper Johnson stopped Rathman after a gain of 12 and a 49er first down.
That's the thing with, you know, we were talking to Bill Belichick last night, and he says that you have to take away Rice, you have to take away Taylor, and if Montana's going to beat you, then he's going to beat us with guys like Rathman catching.
Rathman, Jones, he said.
He doesn't feel that Rathman and Jones catching the ball can beat you. He feels that guys like Rice and Taylor are the ones that you have to take out of the game.
On first down, Montana. To Jerry Rice, who almost broke it. Myron Guyton made the stop.
You see that little move that Rice made after he catch it? Now watch, Collins is up there. He doesn't bump him. Now he backs off because it's a different coverage. But watch, Rice not only runs patterns, catches the ball, and gets open. Watch this little move right here. That little pivot that he makes that buys him another 5 yards.
They say that's one of the keys to his success as a runner. He faces the defender so quickly, or locates him so quickly.
The other part of it is something like Joe Montana hitting his receivers on the run.
Montana stumbled coming backwards, fires, pass is complete, but there is a penalty marker on the play. Now they say incomplete.
They went on both of these teams. We talk about Ronnie Lott when you go inside on Ronnie Lott, but when you go inside with Myron Guyton in there, even though, you know, he's only played a couple years, I'll tell you, you get the same type of thing in there.
Penalty on the play. There's Guyton.
Illegal motion foul, number 80, offense. Penalty is declined, second down.
Illegal motion against Rice. The Giants decline the penalty. 3-3 tie. 2nd and 10. San Francisco at their own 47. That's Jones, the motion man. Montana fakes. And hits Jones, a gain of 7. Myron Guyton.
You know, Montana's just a little off today. It's usually, I mean, even though he's 10 for 13, you know, we're talking about a guy here who could be the best quarterback that ever played, but it's just a little thing where instead of hitting Jones on the run, it was just a little behind him. You know, instead of hitting Taylor out there where he could catch it on the run, it's just a little behind him. And it's just, you know, we're only talking about fractions here, but those fractions can make a difference.
In his case, it certainly can. Flag on the play. Everything seemed out of sync.
The guy that looked like he was out of sync is number 70, Leonard Marshall there. He and Big Bubba Paris kind of ballooned together.
That's a good description.
False start, number 62, offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Oh, it's Guy McIntyre that causes the thing. You see, he does that because he sees Taylor coming, so he jumps, and then boom, he comes and runs into him. So the whole thing is called by 62. You see, there goes Taylor. He jumps. Oh, I think Taylor was in that neutral zone. This Guy McIntyre really held it pretty good. I think Guy McIntyre was okay. I think that should have been against the Giants.
3rd and 8. Montana back to throw it, going deep. Incomplete. Intended for Rice. Collins right with it.
There is one confident cornerback. he loves to play against Jerry Rice. And he's tough on Jerry Rice. You see, he likes to play him physical. He feels that he can get up there, that he can bump him around, and then that if he does get by him, that he has enough speed to run with him.
When you have confidence and ability, you have the makings of a pretty good corner, don't you?
And that's what Mark Collins has. Those are his two biggest ingredients.
Helton back to punt. Meggett back deep for the Giants. They were out working on this yesterday as Meggett will be looking right into the sun. High kick handled by Meggett. Up to the 20. Stopped by Romanowski. 41-yard punt, 10-yard return. It's 3-3 at Candlestick. The NFC Championship game, and looking down from overhead, the Fuji USA blimp. Aerial shots of the day. And the Bay Area, you've been seeing of the work of cameraman Bob Michelson. Pat Summerall here with John Madden at Candlestick. 3-3 tie. Giants ball at their own 20. Jeff Hostetler gives over the left side to O.J. Anderson. Picked up perhaps 3, stopped by Pierce Holt and Michael Carter.
Tell you, the Giant, you see the defense over there talking. They're sweating a little more than they have been the last few weeks. You know, they've been finishing up back in the East Coast where they have snow and blizzards and stuff like that. And they have to come out here in this weather, and I'll tell you, the conditioning will get to them a little in that second half.
It sure will. 2nd and 7. Meggett and Carthon now, the two runners behind Hostetler. And this is Meggett. And Meggett knocked out of bounds at about the 27 after he broke one tackle. Matt Millen knocked him out.
Well, you know, they tried to run inside, and they couldn't get Carter inside, so now they're going outside, and they're going to have trouble right here getting Charles Haley. Charles Haley, one of the best pass rushers in the league, but he's also a good player against the run. You see how he took on Mark Bavaro, held him, and then boom, he came off the block right down the line.
Meggett got 4. It's 3rd and 3. Giants at their own 27. They need to get out past the 30 for the first down.
Let's see if Meggett makes that signal again and they run what they call scat and just throw it to Meggett for the first down.
Hostetler back to throw. Don't forget about his running ability, and he just does get outside the 30.
You know, the funny thing about that play on scat, Meggett can find any hole he wants to and run through it. Now watch him here. Meggett finds the hole. Meggett is right there. He finds a hole. Now watch him right there. Hostetler just follows Meggett right there in the hole. Here's Meggett. Here's Hostetler. He said if it's a hole for Meggett, maybe I can take that same hole and make a first down if Meggett will make a block.
And he did. He's only 5'7", 180, but that is a powerful package. Meggett. Now it's Anderson behind Hostetler. Anderson left side again. Anderson stopped after he perhaps got a yard. Matt Millen again stopped him.
Michael Carter was stunning to that side. I mean, it's tough to run. Carter is so big and so strong that it's tough. And he's here, and if he's going here, he's tough. But if he's stunning to this side and you're trying to run to that side, that is darn near impossible. Because watch him, see him shift there a little? Now he stunts to that side and hits that gap. There is no way that you are going to run there.
You notice how far off the ball he was that time. That's because of what you pointed out.
It gives you a lot of different looks.
Yep. Here's Hostetler back to throw. Pass complete up the middle to Mark Ingram. A gain of 9. Romanowski made the stop.
See, Bart Oates was taking his helmet off there trying to get it straightened out. There's Phil Simms, of course. He still has a cast. We saw him yesterday at the hotel. He was going into a workout room. I don't know if he can ride a bike or whatever, but you can see that right leg has a cast on it.
That's sort of a mystery ailment. Seems to be more serious than they originally thought. Anderson trying for the first down. Maybe, maybe not.
You know, again, so much of the story last week when the Giants beat the Bears was that 4th down. Again, what does Bill Parcells do here if it is 4th down? I think in this game, in this situation, if he doesn't get the